kitchen in my closet. Insecure too. Not in a way of it's all consuming, but it's more of a.
And I live with family that is very negative. So getting out of a negative environment. So both those things are stifling me right now.
Okay, a lot. Let me say this to you. It doesn't matter where you are. You could be in the middle of Desert Storm. You don't let anybody or your surroundings dictate how you're going to feel. You can be whoever you want to be and feel whatever you want to feel if you was standing in the midst of the KKK, honestly. Because you're in control of you. Here's the thing, your energy should penetrate them, not their energy penetrate you. You should be the light in the dark place. No matter what they say, when you understand, like it goes back to like the self-love.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah. You got to go in, and somebody said that would be overwhelming to anyone. Actually, it's not, because you can choose what's going to be overwhelming to you, and you can choose what's not overwhelming to you. So if you're saying something that's overwhelming, you can say it's a choice. I'm choosing to allow the negative energy of my environment to consume me, which means I am allowing what's going on around me to be the remote control and let it control me, and it changes my frequencies. I don't change my frequencies, but those that I'm allowing or giving the power to consume me, this is what they're doing. So it doesn't matter who you live with or what's going on around you. You can choose to be in a particular state of mind that says, I don't give two rats' asses about these people. I am enjoying myself inside of my mind. I know I am wonderful. I know that this too is already over with. You start imagining what you want your life to look like, and they're going to be looking at you like, what's wrong with you? You don't see what's going on? Yeah, my world is beautiful. I'm breathing, baby, so I ain't got no reason to be tripping. Y'all need to enjoy this whole life that you got yourself. And you have to start planning that, and you change the atmosphere, not let the atmosphere change you. That's how I live. Like I said, I got up, put on my little sundresses, honey, because it's spring to me. I'm not going to let all what's going on take away my spring. And I decided that regardless of what's going on in the world. And my daughter's like, Mama, you look cute today. I said, girl, I know, because it's spring, honey. We got to get my closet together because I got to get all of my sundresses out. Am I going somewhere? Nope, other than sitting on my front lawn or maybe on the patio in the back or even maybe on the house. I'm going to be looking like a spring, I'm happy that spring is here. Here come the Easter Bunny. So I choose that. Yes, you control your own narrative. So
yeah, I gotta figure out how. It's like, I guess, like, and I know that's a choice too, but like being diagnosed with, like, my problem is like mental health issues. So me trying to manage that and, force my mind to reset. That is where I'm stuck. I'm stuck there.
Who told you it was mental health issues?
I've been diagnosed a few times. So a few doctors.
What makes them say it's mental health?
Maybe from having several different breakdowns and just not really knowing how to manage my mental health the way I need to manage it.
Okay, I'm gonna share.
So it's like anxiety and depression and stuff.
I'm gonna share something with y'all. Yeah, I have to share. After my adopted son committed suicide last month, my youngest son, I had to admit him into a mental health institution. I had to pay $12,000 to admit him because that wasn't my son. He was having some issues, mental issues. He stayed in there. It was 2 weeks. 2 weeks cost me $12,000. But I told him I love you enough because he don't have no insurance. He don't, because he won't listen. You got to listen. So I sent him, and after 2 weeks he came home, and they tried to diagnose him with psychosis. Right? I'm like, son, what do you feel? He was like, Mama, I think it was I didn't know how to manage my emotions because I didn't know what I was feeling.
Right.
I said, is that mental health issue or is it management that's needed? Is it management? Do you know he's been home about 3 weeks now, ain't had no medication, and he's back to my son because I had to. What I didn't want my son on no medication. So what I did was, once I let him tell me what was going on with him, I said, all right, son, let's get you on a routine. I put him on a routine. I gave him particular videos to watch on changing your mindset. And I'm not saying mental health is not real. I'm saying a lot of people are being diagnosed with mental illness when it's not really an illness. What it is learning how to cope with the changes that are happening in life.
Right.
So he went from trying to be grown, moving to California by himself, to realizing, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I went from high school out of mama's house to I think I'm grown. That was a lot of pressure. And so once I got him up every day, I gave him videos to watch. Google, what's his name? I love, Joe, Joe Dispenza. Google Joe Dispenza on YouTube. Joe Dispenza. He's on Instagram too. Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, and who else I listen to? Bruce Lipton, and it's one more that I listen to. They're really great with helping you with the mind. Okay? And I gave my son a particular schedule every day to get his mind back on track. I do see a couple of things, but the thing that they were trying to diagnose him with, that ain't my kid.
Right.
He needed to learn how to manage. And they gave him all, I'm like, son, he came home when I picked him up from the facility. Came home with all of these medications. I'm like,
I know. They've tried to make me take them. I won't take them though. Like a lot of it is like antipsychotics. I refuse to take antipsychotics. I'm not psychotic. I know I'm not psychotic at all. I like you said, I have a problem managing my emotions, and I have a lot of anxiety. I've had that since I was a child though. I used to have to breathe in brown paper bags as a child, so that's been going on most of my life. But the depression
too. That can go away too with the changing. Brock Proctor, Bruce Lipton, Joe Dispenza, Tom.
Thank you.
Go get them.
Thank you. Thank you for putting that in there.
Look at them, and look at. I even listened to Abraham Hicks. I listened to Louise Hay. Louise Hay has a book called "Healing Yourself" on YouTube. I would listen to these things at night. When my son, when he got home, and the funny thing about me, I was still going live and everything, and nobody knew what was going on. I was down in Mississippi while he was in the facility. And one of the things that let me know that I was on the right track, I was supposed to leave Mississippi after we filmed, and I wanted to stay an extra day. And what happened was I didn't want to pay Delta $400 to change my flight. So the very next morning, as I'm headed to the airport, I hit a pothole. Jackson, Mississippi got a whole hell of a lot of potholes. Hit a pothole, bust my tire, and then I looked in the app to go to Delta to change. Tell them, let me get the phone number to see if they can waive this fee. Well, my flight was delayed. I'm like, cool. They gave me 11 different times to choose to take a flight back home. So I waited till 5 o'clock because I wanted to go do some research. What I found was this little herb store. Do I have their stuff right here? Wait, hold on. Let me see if I got it. I got this little herb store. Oh man, I might have taken it upstairs. But I may have taken it upstairs. I think it's by my bed. But here's the deal. I knew it was meant for me to stay, because I said the night before, I want to stay because I want to do some research, because I know there's a lot of good business to do down here in Mississippi. Not realizing that I went on a street called Ferris Street, and it was like Black Wall Street in Oklahoma. So I make friends everywhere I go. So I go into the herb shop, and down on that street, and we started talking, and I was like, yeah, my son, I'm telling him what's going on. The lady, the wife of the owner, she said he ain't got no mental illness. She said, give him this. It was 9. She explained there's 102 minerals that we're supposed to have, and we don't get those. So it was 92 of the herbs inside of the capsules. And
right.
She said what's going on is a lot of our young men and women, because they're not getting the right minerals in their body, it's causing them to have, mental issues and other breakdowns because the food does not contain the minerals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So with that, I had to understand, wow, this is why I was meant to me for to stay an extra day. It had nothing to do with me, but had everything to do with my son. So I'm saying that to say, look into, number one, what your emotional issues are. Emotional issues will cause you to believe that you have mental health issues as well too, because your emotions dictate everything. Because when I had to have my back surgery in 2007, and I remember hearing God clearly say, your unforgiveness caused this. Because every time I would get angry about past stuff that happened when I was younger, the tension would go to my lower back, which caused my lower back disc to deteriorate. Mm-hmm. Also, there's a book that I would recommend you read, and I have my ladies in my Teach Me How to Date VIP Academy. We read it last year. It's called The Emotion Code. That's what's his name? That's the right one. Right? You go look that book up. His name is Nielsen.
Somebody need to write that too, because I don't have nothing.
You can actually get that on Audible. When I tell you.
Oh, cool. I got Audible.
It's called The Emotion Code. Bradley Nelson. That's what I was looking at earlier.
Bradley Nelson.
Listen to that book. Yes, Bradley. Listen to that book. That book right there helped me so much. Like I have these aha moments of, even with my lupus diagnosis. Lupus didn't run in my family, and then I started doing my research, and I was like, "Oh, April, there might be some stuff that you might have some emotions lodged in your body somewhere, so you need to get stuff out because it's causing these other issues." So I started looking at that, and even when I took my 8-month sabbatical last year, it was because I needed to get me together and get more spiritually in tune. And the more spiritually in tune I got, I noticed things start to dissipate. So that would be my suggestion to you. If you go to a therapist, find one that's going to actually help you and not necessarily just ask you questions back and forth, because that's my own.
I think I'm like you. On the therapist thing. I've tried it a few times, and like you said before, reason why you couldn't go, they tell you stuff you already know. I know all these answers, but I have to force myself to get in that mindset to do it.
Yeah,
that's my problem. Is putting it into action. Yes, I know all those answers. I've heard about the minerals and all that.
Manifest an accountability partner. Put it out there into the atmosphere. And manifest an accountability partner. It might be a stranger that you might just meet. Most of my closest people that I know in my life were strangers that I met either online, very randomly. Even my best friend Jojo, we met on MySpace years ago. So start putting that out there now that you know what you need. So you've identified the issue is not that I don't have the information. The issue is applying the knowledge that I have. So I can even start at baby steps and write out what you need to do, every day. If it means I need to take my CMOS pills or whatever every day, let me set my alarm so that I do this several times a day. That let me put me first, regardless of what's going on in my environment. Yes. That would be my suggestion.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to do that.
All right, let me know.
Thank you.
Welcome.